Prompt engineering did not die. The lazy version died, the version where people memorized magic phrases, pasted them into a chatbot, and acted like they had discovered fire. That version is over, but the serious version is getting more valuable. Because companies do not need cute prompts, they need reliable outputs. They need workflows that survive messy inputs, unclear users, bad data, weird edge cases, and real business pressure. That is not magic wording. That is instruction design. This is educational content. It is not career, legal, or financial advice. The old game was prompt tricks. Act as an expert. Be concise. Give me 10 ideas. Think step by step. Use this tone. Those phrases were useful when people were just learning how to talk to models, but they were never the real skill. They were training wheels. The problem is that a lot of people mistook the training wheels for the job. They thought prompt engineering meant finding the perfect sentence. But businesses do not run on perfect sentences. Businesses run on repeatable systems. If a prompt works once, that is interesting. If it works across hundreds of messy examples with clear failure checks and a handoff process, that is valuable. That is the shift. The new game is not writing prompts, it is designing the work around the model, context, constraints, examples, tools, memory, retrieval, evaluation, human review, fallback paths. That is what serious prompting looks like now. Imagine a support workflow. The model does not just need a prompt that says answer like a helpful agent. It needs policy context. It needs customer history. It needs examples of good and bad responses. It needs to know when to escalate. It needs to know what it is not allowed to promise. It needs a way for a human to verify the result. That is not a prompt. That is an operating procedure written for an AI system. This matters because AI is moving into real workflows, and real workflows punish vague instructions. If you are using AI to brainstorm a slogan, a sloppy prompt is annoying. If you're using AI to summarize contracts, route leads, write support replies, analyze invoices, or draft code changes, a sloppy prompt becomes risk. The output has to match the task. The task has to match the data. The data has to match the policy has to match the business, and someone has to design that chain. That person is not just a prompt writer. That person is a workflow designer. This is why the serious version of prompt engineering is not dying. It is moving up the stack. The real skill is turning messy human intent into instructions a system can execute and a human can verify. That means asking better questions. What is the input? What is the output? What counts as a good answer? What should the model never do? What examples define the pattern? What tools can it use? What happens when confidence is low? What does a human need to check? That is where most people are weak. They ask the model for an answer. The serious operator designs the conditions that make a good answer more likely. They are not looking for one clever line. They are building a repeatable decision surface. That is why the skill is getting more serious. If you want to get good at this, stop collecting prompt hacks. Start building prompt systems. First, write the task like an operating procedure. Define the role, the input, the output, the rules, and the failure conditions. Second, add examples. Not one perfect example. Good examples, bad examples, edge cases, and borderline cases. Third, add evaluation. Test the prompt against real messy inputs. Keep what works. Fix what breaks. Fourth, design the handoff. When does the model answer? When does it ask for more context? When does it call a tool? When does a human take over? That is the difference between playing with AI and building with AI. Prompt engineering is not dead because instructions still matter. What died is the fantasy that one perfect phrase makes you valuable. The serious skill is context design, evaluation, workflow control, and knowing how to make AI useful under pressure. That is harder. That is also why it is more valuable. Subscribe for more practical AI strategy, AI tools, and real-world automation breakdowns, and I will see you in the next one.